From Boca Raton, Florida, Rabbis Efrem Goldberg, Philip Moskowitz, and Josh Brody are taking you behind the Bima. The BRS rabbis schmooze about contemporary issues and talk to special guests who give a behind-the-scenes look at how they got to where they are and what keeps them going. Welcome to Behind the Bima.
Good evening. It's Wednesday night, 9 p.m. I'm Rabbi from Goldberg, joined by my dear friend and colleague, Rabbi Joshua Brody, and we are here to take you
behind the Bima.
We're here to take you behind the Bima. Hold on, let's read this. You ready?
Yeah.
Welcome back to Behind the Bima, everyone. We had a wonderful Hanukkah celebration at Boca Raton Synagogue this year.
Yes, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful week filled with menorah lightings, latke making, and plenty of fun.
And let's not forget the dreidel tournament. I think I may have gotten a little too competitive.
Ha! You and me both. But in the end, it was all for a good cause, raising money for charity.
Speaking of charity, we had a great turnout for our toy drive for local children. It's always heartwarming to see our community come together to give back.
Definitely. And of course, we can't forget about the Daf Yomi. I'm happy to report that I am still on track, even with all the holiday festivities.
Excellent work, Brody. And I have to give a shout out to our amazing team of volunteers who help make everything run smoothly. Thank you to all of them for their hard work.
Absolutely. Now let's get back to studying and preparing for the next holiday.
Sounds like a plan. Until next time, l'chaim. Okay, do you know what we just read?
I was not following. This is the first time I ever saw that.
I want to tell you what we just read because somebody sent this to me moments before we came on the air. We are, of course, a live show. It is live the fourth night of Hanukkah, Wednesday night. So the new craze, I don't know if you've seen it, is this AI, artificial intelligence, this website that you could put a prompt and it will spit back in milliseconds something brilliant. So somebody put the following prompt into AI. Write dialogue for Rabbi Efrem Goldberg and Rabbi Josh Brody to use in the next episode of Behind the Bima. They should recap Hanukkah events at Boca Raton Synagogue. Make sure to include a few off-the-cuff jokes and Brody's daf update. And that, what we just read, is what it gave back.
That's incredible.
Isn't it amazing? It knew that I call you Brody. Your daf update that you're still keeping up.
Yep.
Thanking volunteers. L'chaim. So I guess it's going back to the original Behind the Bima when we used to do the l'chaim. So isn't that unbelievable?
So are we out of business? Is this artificial intelligence going to take over Behind the Bima?
You know, what do you think about it? Let's say somebody I'm related to who might be a fact checker is a little obsessed with the AI, putting in prompts and seeing the poems, the articles, the essays. Apparently it's the craze in schools because teachers can't tell if something's plagiarized or if AI wrote it or a student. Someone just told me, one of my kids told me, where somebody had AI write an essay for them and said include 4 spelling errors. So that when it was submitted to the teacher,
I had this when
because
I was
it had 4 spelling errors, right?
It's not fair.
It's out of control, right?
Like I literally had to plagiarize. Like I didn't have the ability.
Stop it. You did not. We're honest. Behind the Bima does not condone or support plagiarizing. Of course,
make it through high school was not easy. Some of us weren't gifted, you know. We had to do our best.
Yeah.
Oh,
it is pretty outstanding. You think it's a good thing or a bad thing? AI.
No, it's definitely a bad thing. It's definitely a bad thing. Right? Yeah, absolutely. I'm saying because the whole thing, and I'm learning this right now in Netanya, is all about the relationship that we have with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You can't have some. You can't perikdolid. You cannot manufacture a relationship. It's either coming from your heart or it's not real. That's it.
It throws so much into question, right? That there's a robot, technology, computers, automated artificial intelligence somewhere, whatever that is, that can have the creativity and the ingenuity and can articulate an idea, can take someone's style and put something out that sounds like it's unbelievable. First of all, it's bad for education because I think that the wrong people will do the wrong things with it. Now, I'm not saying they're going to end the universe, but I'm just saying it'll slow down or block our ambition to learn and to grow because we're just going to use this cop-out of AI. But also just questions, you know, there's a famous story of the Satmar Rebbe who used to daven in a way that was very demonstrative. He would flail his arms and passion, enthusiasm, and energy. There was once at a wedding, there was a barchan. A barchan is like a joker, a jokester, an entertainer. And they entertain, and they asked the Satmar Rebbe, do you mind if I imitate you? Satmar Rebbe said, by all means, if we'll entertain the bride and groom, the wedding festivities, please. So in the middle of the performance of this barchan, of this jester, he did an imitation of the way the Satmar Rebbe davens. And the Satmar Rebbe began to cry. So you can imagine the jester was devastated. He made the Satmar Rebbe cry. So he went to find out what happened. So Satmar Rebbe said, you know, when I watched you, you did such an exact imitation of me. It was so spot on. And when I saw the way you were imitating me so closely, I thought to myself, maybe when I'm davening, I'm just imitating myself. Maybe it's not real. It's not authentic. Maybe I'm just imitating me from once upon a time. So like if a computer can imitate me, then who am I? Like just have the computer do it for me. So is that me doing it because it's using the present? Also, it's again, a computer, it's in milliseconds. You put it in the prompt and it spits back a poem, an essay, or whatever you want it to. In milliseconds, it scours the internet and creates a pattern and a history and a precedent and a style. It's unbelievable. It's
but I'm just telling. I really don't believe, and maybe with some people it could work, but maybe I don't know. I don't think it'll work with me. I don't think that there's any computer that can figure out my head right now because I can't figure it out. So if some computer has a better idea, I'm still trying to figure out everything, the most basic things in life. I can't figure it out. So if the computer knows
a lot of ethics into question, like morally, AI morally, and I know there are a lot of ethicists writing about this. I'm thinking about this right now, but it's kind of like, are we going to build robots? And we building computers that are going to take over? Like if we could build it to think like us and to imitate us, can it control us and will it develop a mind of its own? And I don't mean to like create some sci-fi conspiracy here or panic, but I don't know if it doesn't wow you and move you and make you think. Anyways, that our little opening script right there was someone just sent me. I've never gone to the website. I don't want to.
Right.
I'm afraid to. I don't want everyone I know who's checked it out has become obsessed with it and plays with it and puts prompts into it. And I don't want to, as I get closer to having to write a drush, a sermon, a class, a shir, or whatever the speech may be, I don't want to be tempted to put something in and see what it.
I don't even understand how it works. I mean, you go to a website, you type in a certain subject matter, and then
artificial intelligence website, and there's a prompt. So you say, let's say,
I was going to say me and you, but
write an article of Hanukkah in the voice of Rabbi Josh Brody, referencing the Jewish Federation and the PJ Library Hanukkah event, and it will send you back like an article, an essay. It'll cull from anything you've ever written that it could find online, and in milliseconds figure out your style and incorporate the things you tell it to incorporate, and spit back the essay. Done.
Huh. I love it.
I just ruined you. That was
1 second.
Right there, you're ruined.
Can it write like a drasha? Like can I say like write a drasha on this week's parsha?
Yeah. A different. Really? Let's put it this way: a prominent Talmud Chacham in Boca, very big Talmud Chacham, very accomplished Talmud Chacham, sent me earlier today. He discovered it, and he wrote, "Have you seen this? Look what I asked it to do, and look what it produced." This is what he texted me, and what he asked it to do was to put a. This is the prompt: write a Dvar Torah for Miketz, Rosh Chodesh, and Chanukah.
Right.
And you know what it writes? It writes back a whole Dvar Torah. Miketz, Rosh Chodesh, Chanukah all occur at the same time this year, creating convergence of significant events. Miketz, the 10th parsha of the book of Bereshis, tells the story of Joseph's rise to power. Egypt, parsha teaches about the power of forgiveness, the importance of perseverance in the face of hardship. Rosh Chodesh, the beginning of the new month, is a time for renewal and reflection.
No way.
As we celebrate these events, we're reminded of the power of forgiveness, the importance of renewal, and the enduring strength of faith. May these themes inspire us to be our best selves and bring light into the world. Unbelievable. Look at
wow.
Your mind is blown right now.
1 second. I need you're busy this week. Do you need any help with a drasha?
Ladies and gentlemen of
I'm happy to give a drasha in the 9.
We have just ruined Joshua Brody. We've just ruined Josh Brody. We've ruined him. Oh boy, someone just sent me a new one, and then we can't spend the whole night on this. We got to go. Okay. You ready?
It's crazy.
Somebody just sent me. This is the prompt: write a promo for Friday Night Live in the style of Josh Brody. Friday Night Live is a program designed to introduce Jews to the beauty and sanctity of Shabbos. And you know what it says? Are you ready to experience the magic of Shabbos? Come join us for Friday Night Live. This program is designed to introduce Jews to the beauty and sanctity of Shabbos. Every Friday night we come together to sing, pray, and connect with each other and with God. Our expert leader will guide you through traditional Shabbos rituals.
That's amazing.
No.
Can you do me? Let me just tell you, because we were writing up something for this week's flyer, and I edited something that Rob said. This is much better than anything we did. Please send it to Rob right now.
We have officially ruined Josh.
Oh, this is great. Okay.
Unbelievable.
What's the website? Now, you can't say the website.
I don't know what it is. I don't want to go to it.
Okay,
I refuse to. I'm grappling and struggling with it, but I also know my personality, and I don't have the time to start looking at it and playing with it.
What do you mean? It'll save you time. It's not playing with it. I
don't want to be tempted by it. I think there are boundaries. There are lines that we don't want to cross.
First of all, I wouldn't say in the style of Josh Brody. I would say give me a Dvar Torah in the style of Rabbi Goldberg.
No, because first of all, Rabbi Goldberg. You want me? You want the style of Rabbi Lord Sachs, Zichron Levrach, or something like that. But the problem is, then you'll get up and say it, and no one will believe it's you. That's the point. It's able to create something in your authentic voice.
Well, I don't think anyone's ever believed it was me.
It's really unbelievable.
It's from a friend, and it's.
Speaking of other unbelievable things, not looking for sympathy from those from outside of Florida, but do you know the temperature on Shabbos here in Boca Raton?
75, 80.
This Shabbos is going to be in the 40s in Boca Raton, Florida.
No.
Now, we're not ready for that. We're not built for
No,
that. Many of us don't have heat. We don't have the right clothing. Iguanas are going to freeze and fall from the trees and clop people on the head.
That's not good.
Be prepared for Shabbos.
I got nothing. I got nothing to prepare with. I have no winter coat. Yeah. I had a winter coat and I left it up in Virginia.
Unbelievable. Did you?
Yeah, and it's actually got one of those muffins from the they give you at the breakfast, the continental breakfast. I left it in the thing. I left it at someone's house. We
have a fantastic guest, Rav Yosef Zvi Rimon, tonight. Before we get to him, Rabbi Brody, anything about Hanukkah? How's your Hanukkah been going?
Oh, it's been great.
You feel like Hanukkah's been getting more action-packed every year with more competing events, responsibilities, things to go to. And I don't know whatever happened to Hanukkah being like a little bit time at home with family and staring at the candles and experiencing it together.
It's funny. I was talking to Marla tonight. She works at the Jewish Federation in the community. We're talking about how when we grew up, do you remember any public events for Hanukkah? Did your shul host an event? Did your school? No, I don't remember anything.
Do we credit Chabad with this?
I think it's Chabad. Public, right? They brought it.
Chabad certainly. The Rebbe certainly had a major campaign about lighting the public square, Persume Nisa.
Right. So what did we do? I just remember coming together with my family. We lit the candles. That was it.
But I just fear that Hanukkah will pass. 8 nights will be over, and you'll be like, "Was there one night that we just sat and really savored the moment?"
No,
the evening,
I got home about two minutes before the broadcast. Right now, we haven't lit candles yet. I've been at 4 different events.
Right, you were at several events,
right.
So you should definitely light candles.
Right now,
but I don't know if that was in Tanya or the Daf Yomi or Rashi or anything like that. But you definitely should light the candles. You should light the candles. But it's action-packed. On the one hand, it's beautiful. The community comes together and the light and it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. The celebrations and the joy. It's all great. It's all beautiful. But I think that, like many things, that there are unintended consequences and we have to be careful about. We don't want to become too action-packed with too many things that we're running out of the home. Hanukkah is near ish ubeso. It's like it's experienced in the home. I don't know how we balance that. It's getting overwhelming.
Yeah, it's a busy. It's not a busy week; it's a busy night. But
it is a busy night.
There's a lot of it happens to be. It's great because you have things for kids. We had a great thing at BRS the other night for young singles, which was fantastic.
Right.
I heard that the guy that's coordinating this event, he's already put together between 140 and 160 couples.
Wow,
it's very special, right?
That was a beautiful
nice to be part of that. Yeah,
that is a population underserved and at a point of life that they need networking and inspiration and support and chizuk. And we're proud
to be able to host it. Right,
proud that we hosted that, and looking forward to doing a lot more for that age group and that demographic. We definitely need to be keeping an eye on that and working on that, which would be great. Would be great.
Wow.
So, all right, another exciting week. Yosef Zvi Rimon, who is just an outstanding figure. If you want to feel inadequate or I don't know, they're not enough hours in the day for what he does. He just pumps out Sfarim. He writes books. He's an expert in Halacha, Jewish law, and takes questions from all over the world. He's the chief rabbi of the whole Gush Etzion region and has been the rabbi of Alon Shvut for many years.
People say the same thing about you.
Machon Lev.
Yeah,
about me.
How do they pump it? He pumps out all the articles and the classes.
AI. That's it. AI from now on. From now on. Just getting started. So much more to do.
Well, wait till you see me next week.
So much more to do.
It's gonna be articles.
Can't wait. We can't wait. Anyway, Rav Rimon is one of our heroes. Really amazing, special person. It's an honor to be able to go behind the Bima with him. Without any further ado, Rav Yosef Zvi Rimon, the Rayatz Rimon. It's a great privilege to be joined by Rav Rimon, to be able to go behind the Bima. Rav Rimon is my brother, and his family is Rav in Alon Shvut, and I felt connected for a very long time, Rav Rimon, not only as the Rav of my brother and his family, but the Rav's incredible Sfarim, to be today the chief rabbi of Gush Etzion, the Rosh Yeshiva of Machon Lev, to be publishing the Sfarim, Jab Katif. Rav Rimon, my first question to you is, how do you get everything done? How do you get everything done? Your own learning, being a Rav to so many and available and helping, starting and running Chessed organizations, giving shiurim, publishing Sfarim. How do you get it all done?
Well, so first of all, I'm very happy to be here with you, that Baruch Hashem, to be with a rabbi that I know that he's Talmid Chacham, and gives so much good things, inspiration for so many people. I think that if you want to be a busy person, you need to know what are the main things in your life, and those things never give up. For me, I have two things. One thing is Torah. The other thing is family. I know those are the first things in my life. Every day I have hours that I blocked for Limud Torah, for learning, for writing, because if I'll speak and help everyone, but I won't be deep all the time in Torah, it won't be serious. If you want to be a posek, you need all the time to learn, every day. And second thing is my family. And my children, they know. Doesn't matter how busy I am, they'll be first. They'll need me, I'll be with them. And Baruch Hashem, it happens a lot. I have 8 children, here and there. And Baruch Hashem, I'm with them. And I help them, I learn with them, I do other activities with them. When they need me, they know that they are first. If you know those things, what's important in your life, then you can do lots of things, and Bezrat Hashem, you'll succeed.
Everything else fits in around it. So Rav Rimon, when did you know that you would emerge to become a Rav, a posek, that you'd be mechaber svarim, you'd be putting out books on Halacha? At what age did you realize that this was your netiyah, that you were drawn to this expertise, and that you feel competent to do it? When you were in Yeshiva already, did you specifically try to do shimush? Did you expose yourself to people that would help you to be able to learn, to write, to speak, and most of all, to have the Torah knowledge to be a posek?
It's very interesting. I spoke with this a few days ago with my wife, because on one hand, I was sure when I was in beginning of yeshiva and when I was in high school, that I'm going to be a doctor. My father was certain, he knew that I'm going to be a doctor. I have a brother that is a doctor. He's a very special doctor, specialist in geriatric, and because of this, he was the doctor of Rav Yosef and Rav Mordechai Eliyahu and Rav Steinman and Rav Wozner and lots of great rabbis. And when I was Shiur Daled in Yeshiva, in Yeshivat Etzion in Gush, Mori v'Rabbi Rav Lichtenstein, Zecher Tzadik Livracha, came to me. I sat in my room, in his room. He called me, and he said, "I know you want to be a doctor." I said, "Yes." For a quarter of an hour, he spoke how important is it to be a doctor. רפואה זה מקצוע של חסד, he said. To be a doctor, this is chesed, a profession of chesed. And I thought to myself, wow, how my Rabbi gives me chizuk to be a doctor. And after a quarter of an hour, I said, but in your case, you need to stay in Torah. This is your mission, to stay in Torah, to stay in education. This is your mission in life. And then I stayed another year, and I found myself a Rabbi in Gush Yeshiva, and then a Rabbi of Alon Shvut South, and then Rabbi of Gush Etzion, and Rabbi of Machon Lev, and this happened in writing. So from one hand, it seems that it started then. But my wife told me, it didn't start then. I said, what do you mean? She said, look, when I was dating with you, and I asked you, which books are you reading in your free time? You told me, Shutim, She'elot U'Tshuvot. And then I told you, what do you mean? All your life, this is what you are reading? I said, look, also in high school, when I had free time, all the time I was reading Shutim. I remember myself in 15 years old, I'm sitting at home Shabbos, and I'm learning. Then I learned Shvut Yecha V'Da'at, that it was more easy for me. And I'm learning, and I know that I need to finish Shnai Mikra Ve'echad Targum. Sometimes I had the koach, the strength to put the shooting beside and to finish Shnai Mikra Ve'echad Targum. Sometimes the Yetzer didn't let me. I was all Shabbos all the time, another tshuva, and another tshuva, and another tshuva. I remember myself in the same age, 14 years old, that I'm reading Mishnah Berurah, and I enjoy so much another page, and I feel that I learn, and I remember, and I go another, like read a book. So I loved Halacha for years. Actually, I think it started when I was 11 years old, and my sister, my older sister, she was all the time asking a rabbi questions in Halacha. And she was sharing with me the answers. He said this. And once she said, I went to my Rabbi to ask him a question, and he said, it's so important question. I don't know the answer. We were living in Tel Aviv. I'm going now to Rav Yosef to ask him. I said, what do you mean? He said, I'm going. He had no car. He went by bus to Rav Yosef to Jerusalem for 5 minutes to sit with Rav Yosef and to get the answer. And when I heard it, I said, wow, Halacha is so important. It's ready to go to Jerusalem for 5 minutes to speak with Rav Yosef. And I think that this brought me to try and to learn more and more Halacha. And of course, in Yeshiva, most of my time I learned Gemara and I learned Lamdes. But Halacha, I think it's something that started me for maybe 13, 14, the special love to Halacha.
At a young age. What a great Yetzer Hara, to have a Yetzer Hara, to learn the Shutim of all the Yetzer Haras that are out there. That's an amazing Yetzer Hara. So Rav Lichtenstein was a tremendous influence on your life, on the Rav's life. Specifically in Halacha, who are the other influences? Today, you've emerged, the Rav has emerged a posek, and I know that people call you and they write to you, and the Sfarim that you put out. I'm in WhatsApp groups with you where people pose questions all day, and the Rav writes back tshuvot to people's questions in the WhatsApp group all the time. So you're a posek today that people are reaching out from all over. Who were your inspirations in Psak? Was there time that you put in to learn, to gain? Is there a specific person or a derech of Psak that guides the Rav?
So first of all, I have to say that all my life, from 14 years old, I was going to Gdulei Ador all the time to ask questions. And I think that Halacha, first of all, is l'shamesh talmidei chachamim, to go there, to ask. And to understand that from Gdulei Dor, you get lots of things. And also that you don't need to go just for one kind. The Gdulei Dor, that everyone is important. I was going to the Steipeler. I was going, of course, years afterwards, Reb Chaim Kanievsky. I was going to Rav Yosef. I was going to Rav Ovadia Yosef. I was going to Rav Shloime Zalman Auerbach. I was going to Rav Mordechai Eliyahu, to Tzitz Eliezer, to Rav Goren, to lots of very, to Rav Avrom Shapira, Rav Mordechai Eliyahu, I think I said, very important rabbis, Ben Zion Freiman, I don't know him so much, that from each one of them, I got another view and how to think when you have an Halacha questions, what to do, how to analyze it. So I feel that each one of them gave me something important and another point of view. And then Rav Amital, then Rav Lichtenstein, that with Rav Lichtenstein I spoke maybe every day for 30 years. And with questions, with things, and to see Rav Lichtenstein that analyze, that gives, we can look this way and that way, and to see all the picture. So this is something that is so is so important. It's so I think to have shimush from Talmidei Chachamim, this is something that can change the view, because you get view of Talmidei Chachamim. If you ask me who are the poskim that I feel that I follow, that give me the inspiration, number one is Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach. I feel that his way, his system, his derech in psika, that on one hand is serious, is deep, and to see the Gemara, the Rishonim, and the poskim, to try to find a way that won't be stam, just machmir, and not just make it without something that you can see it's based on Am Yisrael, to understand that minhagim, that mesoret in Am Yisrael is a main issue in psikat halacha, to understand that ben adam lechavero, that human is a part of halacha, and if you have something that you feel that it's not human, think again, it's also a part of halacha. And it's not something that you can do just from your heart to say, oh, I'm doing this because, no. You have halacha, you have rules. But in those rules, you have to feel the big picture, also the things that affect people, and to try how to analyze all this to psak halacha.
The Torah is an incredible unifier. The Torah unites us, and many of the Gdolim that you just mentioned would be associated more, call it, with the Haredi world. But the Torah is a vocabulary, the Torah is a language, and whether you live in Alon, Shvut, or you live in Bnei Brak, and you're talking in halacha and in learning, the Torah is this incredible unifier. So what do you think is the future for the relationship in Eretz Yisrael in particular, but it's true everywhere, how to cross some of these lines between the Dati Tzioni and the Haredim, even also to Chilonim? What can we be doing to heal some of these wounds, to create relationships? Does the Rav know of the Halacha Sfarim that the Rav is putting out? Are they purchased in the Haredi communities and Haredi neighborhoods and being studied by Haredim too? What are the openings for our communal and rabbinic leaders to try to cross some of these lines and to focus on what we have in common more than that what divides us? How can we heal some of these wounds?
Look, there are lots of important issues that you mentioned right now. First of all, if I try to direct halacha, it's very easy to say, oh, our generation is in a problem, and we have, I believe in our generation, I believe in the door, I feel they have high souls, but it's confusing. There are lots of things that are confusing, and we have to think how to help the people to be touched to halacha, to values, but to bring it in, to direct it in the right way, in the way that can be good for them. And one of the things that I'm doing with my books is I'm trying to bring things from the sources. People today are clever, and they want to learn. But if you speak in a way that they can't understand you, so then you say, okay, you bring them just the bottom line or other things. They don't feel how Torah is chacham, is smart. Bring them things that would be deep, but do it user-friendly. Do it in the language of the door, of the generation. When I wrote the Agada, so Mossad Rav Kook, that published the Agada, they asked me, who is the crowd? Talmidei Chachamim, Malebatim, men, women. I told them, every smart person. They said, it cannot be. Tell us the crowd. I said, you'll see, this is the crowd. When I published it, the rabbi there that's in charge read it. He told me I read it from cover to cover, and now I understand. And he told me afterwards that to Mossad Rav Kook, people come, rabbis and Valebatim, Charedim and Tzionim, and everyone come and use the book because it's something that I'm trying, and I think that this is something that we have to work all the time to write clearly, to write with charts, to write in a way that everyone can enjoy, but it's not something that will be easy. It will be high level, but it will be accessible for everyone. So first of all, I think that this is the way that we have to try to teach halacha. And I think that is another thing that we have to work on, achdus. I feel if you spoke about Haredim and Tzionim and Chilonim, I think there are lots of things, as the Rab said, that are common. And unfortunately, the media tries all the time to show what's the different, what's not common. And we have to work to see things that are common, that brings us to be together. And I feel that there are lots of things like this, of this. I have to say, I feel that in the last few years, also Haredim, also Tzionut Datit, and also non-religious are getting closer. Outside, you can hear maybe other things because in the media, they get crazy from this. They need all the time to show, oh, different. And I don't feel like this. I feel that I have lots of people that Haredim that are in touch. They come to ask she'elot. They come to buy the books to me, other places. Also people non-religious, lots of places. I gave a shiur in Tel Aviv, Hoshana Rabbah, 12 o'clock at night, place that everyone is non-religious. People that are from the television, from here, very famous people. There were around 50 people there, men and women. And I told the one that came with me, I told him it should be an hour, but I think it will be less because who knows how much. When I finished the shiur, they said, can we ask questions? They started asking questions. And the shiur continued till 4 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
Feel that people, they want to know, to see. They want thing, they feel that something is missing and people want to be together and lots of things we can do together. And I think we have to work on it.
So Rav Rimon, what do you think today are the biggest issues facing Medinat Yisrael? We have a new government. There's a lot of fear that there's going to be religious coercion and pushback on religious coercion. Are we at a great opportunity? Are you very positive and optimistic of where we are? Are you concerned about where we are? What would you, from your seat, your perspective, what do you think?
Okay. So first of all, I in my life, all the time I'm optimistic. And I feel that we are in redemption time. We saw things in our eyes that for thousands of years, Am Yisrael could just daven, dream. Never in history a nation was chucked out of the country and came back. I feel that today, not to be ma'amin, not to be religious, Jewish, not religious, I can't understand how can it be. I mean, we don't need to teach now. We need to teach, but not for this Briat HaOlam or Ma'amad Har Sinai to understand that Hashem created the world. You see in your eyes, never in history a nation was chucked out. And after thousands of years came back. Everything is written in Torah, in Nevim, that will come back. It's not just that we were chucked out. We were split everywhere, part here, part there. Everyone tried to kill us. Am Yisrael came back to Eretz Yisrael. We have today Medinat Yisrael. We have the army that is a part of the Malchus of to understand of the part of Medinat Yisrael that is so good army. Medinat Yisrael, not just in Torah, but it's number 3 in the world in high tech and number 8 in the world in medicine, and one of the only countries that reached the space, and number 7 in the world in measure of happiness. אי אפשר להאמין, you can't believe. You see, it's not just as you see that Hashem exists. You see that Hashem אוהב עמו ישראל, you see that Hashem loves us and helps us. You wake up in the morning, you say, wow, I don't believe, I see it in my eyes. Everything that was promised in the Torah, Nevim, Chazal. So to understand, that if you understand that this is the time that we are now. We understand we are in Geulah, in redemption, and all the time we are trying another level and another level. We are going up. I feel that this government can be very good government and can be do very good things. I hope that the government will do it in the right way. I mean, on one hand, of course, Torah, our values of Torah, Eretz Israel, of course, those are main things in our life. Torah is the center of the life of every Jewish person. But we know that Chazal told us that today we haven't got mitzvat tochecha to tell off people because people don't know how to accept it. And Chazal didn't tell us that we don't need to try to change things. They said, do it in a smart way. If you start screaming at someone, oh, you are doing Chilul Shabbos, you are eating Chazer, it won't work. It won't work. In our generation, think in a smart way. Mm-hmm. And I feel that if the government, that there are good people there, if they work in the right way, if they try to love each Jewish person, it doesn't matter now what he thinks, to find good things and to really love him, because everyone has good things that he's doing and good things. Try to search for good things. Try to love, to respect. And then, in the right way, in the smart way, try to bring our values. I'm sure that it will bring Medinat Israel to a higher level. But we need to work in the right way, such as not to speak all the time. Wow, we are going to change this, we are going to do this. Don't speak so much. Speak good things, speak on love, speak on Am Israel, and then do the right things, and people will accept them. When you declare so many things, people are afraid, they don't want to speak to you, and everything you do, they'll try to say, oh, wait, he's doing, so he's trying. Don't speak too much. Try to speak good things, and to work, and to do, and to inspire, and to work, not just on Torah. If you are in charge of Medinat Israel, of course, Torah is the center, but Torah tells us to work on Ben Adam Lachavero, to work on people that are unfortunately in a low level with money, with education. Try to help everyone. Try to see in the country you are working now, not just your department. It's not like, years ago, the rabbi would go to the minister and would pray to ask him, please save the Jewish people. If you are today in the government, you have to think on everyone. You are the government. And to think on everyone is to think how the buses will work good, how everything in the country, how you take care of jobs for everyone, how you take care for each person in the country, and then people will appreciate you, and you can feel that you can have the opportunity also to bring more Torah and more values of Torah. And I'm sure that if they work in the right way, it's a wonderful opportunity.
Should rabbis speak about politics? Should rabbis get involved in politics? Is there a difference in Chutz La'aretz, where there's a separation of religion and politics, and Eretz Israel, where it's a Jewish state, and so maybe the voice of the Rabbanim is different? Do you think that Rabbanim should speak about and get involved in politics?
First of all, it's very exciting that in Eretz Israel, in Medinat Israel, it's the only place in the world that the government is in charge on kashrus, on marriage. It's exciting. It's a part of the government because this is Medinat Israel. And because of this, it's so important for me. And I don't like when people try to destroy the Rabbanut. And this is a part of our Medina, a part of our redemption, that the state is in charge also on all those things. And I think that rabbis should be involved, but clever. There are people that the profession is politics. Let them lead deal with politics. Maybe there's a rabbi that it's also his profession, it's something else. And if not, okay, rabbis can give advice all the time. Politicians can come to them. I have to tell you, every few days, politicians come to me. Please sign on this, sign on that. I tell them, my father, Alav Shalom, told me, please promise me that never you'll go to politics. And I said, okay. I didn't understand then that once it will be real, I don't know, my father had like Ruach HaKodesh on it. They come and say, I can't sign. I don't sign. But I'm ready to give you advice. But don't mention my name. So lots of them are coming. They can come from the left, from the right. I'm ready to speak with everyone, to give advice to everyone, but without my name. So like this, I think rabbis can work smart sometimes with name, without name. Okay, they'll do what they want to do. But I think it's important that rabbis will be connected to politicians because we need a ruchni, we need a spiritual view, but do it in a smart way that will give respect to Torah and not the opposite.
So, Rav Rimon, we've spoken about the Sfarim, we've spoken about the learning and the centrality of Torah, but another big part of your life and the difference you've made is in the world of Chessed. And when Jewish communities and thousands of our brothers and sisters were being pulled from Gush Katif and from Gaza, you saw an opening, you saw a need that they had and started Job Katif. So could you share a little bit about what was behind that? Was this connected to the politics that bothered you, or was it specifically the human part of it, that they didn't have jobs, they needed jobs? How come the government didn't do it? Why did it take a Rav and Alon Shvut to step up and to do it? And how did the Rav at the time, while giving shiurim and running a kihila and a yishuv and writing svarim, how was there the time to create a whole network? Is Job Katif still going? Has that morphed into something, changed into something new?
Wow. Okay, so 17 years ago, I got a telephone call from rabbis in Gush Katif. And they told me, actually it was Tafshin Samechei, 2005, Leminyanam. They told me, can you go to the hotels where people of Gush Katif supposed to be soon and to see if they are prepared? I went with my wife and I saw things well prepared. No activities for children, no laundry solutions, other problems. And I collected hundreds of people from our community, thousands of people around Israel, and we helped the people. After a few days, I discovered that worst of all is that those people that were working all their life found themselves jobless. 85% of the people from Gush Katif, on the day of the disengagement, lost their jobs. I went around. I said, okay, the government here, there, try to do things. And they said, we're trying, they opened an office. But then I saw that it doesn't work. You can't work in emergency with bureaucracy. It doesn't work. And you have to think all the time out of the box. I started in my home to try to help people to call here, and I saw it works. And then I wrote, like you write a sugya in Gemara, I wrote a chart. I have it till today. Okay, why people from Gush Katif, why don't they find jobs? This, all the options. Okay, if it's this option, what can we do to change it? So we can do this and this and this. And this, what are the problems that will be here? Okay, exactly like do the sugya in Gemara. And I started to collect volunteers. And then I understood that I have a system that succeeds in place that the government maybe tried but failed. And then I opened Job Katif. Baruch Hashem, Job Katif helped 3,000 people to find jobs. Wow. 280 people to open a business, and brought Gush Katif to the measure of unemployment in Israel. Now, we know when you hear 3,000 people, it's okay, another one. You have to understand, after the trauma of leaving their home and destroying their house and everything from the beginning, finding the job is not just a job, is saving the family. Saving the family. Once I were I gave a shiur somewhere on Shabbos, and it was for girls, high school of girls, Ulpana it's called in Israel. In the end of the shiur, girls come, hundreds of us, toda rabba, toda. One girl is beside, around 16 years old, when everyone is out, she says, Rav Rimon, I wanted to thank you for saving my family. I said, saving your family? Oh, what did we do? And she said, in Gush Katif, we were a happy family. After the disengagement, my father lost his job. My mother lost her job, and they stayed at home. After a few years, that problem with money, they started quarreling all the time, and then they took all the siblings, they told that they are going to get divorced. And I said, how can it be? My family, my parents were so happy. A few weeks later on, Job Katif came in and found a job to my father, to my mother. Happiness came back to our house, everything like in Gush Katif. From time to time, I wake up at night and I ask myself, was it a dream? Or was it real that the parents told me that they are going to get divorced? So toda Rav Rimon for saving my family. I heard this and I said, wow, if we start a job Katif for this family, was worth it. And job like this is saving a family. And when I saw it works so well, I said we have to help other societies. Then I told my team, I want you to try to help the Ethiopians. They are already second or third generation in Israel. And lots of them are working, cleaning or something similar. I wanted to try to find them something that they can be academic. They can be in a higher level. And they went, after a few weeks, they came back and they said, we found they can be nurses in hospitals. This is good for them. They are gentle. Their patients can be wonderful and they like it very much. I said, okay. They started to check. And after a few weeks, they came back and they said it won't work. Because in Israel, they have something called psychometry. In the States, you call it SAT.
Right.
If they don't reach 520 points in psychometry, they won't be accepted to nursing school. And do you know what to do? I took professional people to check. Why don't they reach? And I saw it's not connected to nursing. We did an alternative test. And we showed it to schools. They didn't want to accept it. Then we went to one school and said, okay, take free as a pilot. We'll pay stipend, we'll pay money. It was also today, $7,000 for each one for a year. In the end, they agreed to take free. We went to another school, said, they took free as a pilot. Also, you take free.
Right.
They agreed, another school and another school. And we did the first group. Then we went to Hebrew University, Bet Cholim Hadassah. We told him, we want you to accept the Ethiopians. We have a system where they said, no, without psychometry, they feel like Harvard. Without psychometry, we won't accept. We showed them the results. They saw they are so good. So they agreed. We went also to collect donations. And today, we have in the Hebrew University around 100 Ethiopian students that learn with no psychometry. They learn nursing, they succeed, they work in hospitals. Then I saw it works. I said we have to help more people. And someone came to me that was trying to help soldiers from needy families. We took it and we worked on it. And today we help thousands of soldiers. The army sends us all the time that are from needy families. And things are complicated. We help them to find jobs also when they are in the army, in vacation time, also afterwards, to find future. We are working today on other things that connected to teenagers in risk and to other people with high-tech that come from poor places. Our goal is to have, to succeed, to bring the people to be able to dream and to help them to make the dream real and to stand on their own 2 feet in the highest level that they can stand. And Baruch Hashem, from something so terrible like the disengagement, Baruch Hashem, also good things happened in called today Laofek. Laofek is horizon. This is instead of Job Katif, we change the name to Laofek, to horizon, because today it's the project of the soldiers called Ta'asuchail, Ta'asuka, employment for Chayalim. The project for Ethiopians is Achoteinu, because in Israel you say a nurse, you say Achot.
Right.
Oh, Baruch Hashem.
So Rav Rimon, had that person not made that original phone call, right? Think about all of this good, the job Katif, the Ethiopians, the soldiers. You said that you got a phone call to say, could you go see the place that they're going to be brought? Is it ready? Had you never received that phone call, do you think all of this would have happened?
Wow. It's interesting. You know, Parashat Lech Lecha, one of the questions is why Kodesh Baruch Hu turned to Avraham Avinu. We don't know anything on Avraham Avinu. He tells Avraham, Lech Lecha, me'artzecha. Why did he give him the mission? Why Avraham? So there are lots of answers. Maharal said maybe he chose Avraham because he knew that his Zera, this is the right thing. The Ramban says maybe before was a story with Ur Kasdim, Avraham broke all the Psalim. Sfat Emet says something brilliant. He says, from the creating of the world, from Lech Lecha, from the Briat HaOlam, Kodesh Baruch Hu said Lech Lecha. Avraham was the first one that heard the Lech Lecha. He heard the mission. And I think the telephone call helped me to hear the Lech Lecha. And everyone can search, everyone can have his Lech Lecha in the world, and we have to hear, to listen to the Lech Lecha, to the mission, to the Shlichut, in Chesed, in Torah. Jewish person wakes up in the morning and he has a dream. He knows, I have a dream to make the world better, to make Am Yisrael better, to have Chesed and Torah. And when you are waking up like this, you will hear your Lech Lecha, your mission, and you'll be able to get koach to do lots of good things to help Am Yisrael, to help the world.
Rav Rimon, you travel around the world, you give shiurim, you go as a scholar in residence and share the Sfarim. What have you seen in America, the American Jewish community? What do you think that we can learn from one another? What do you think that the American Jewish community can be learning from Alon, Shvut, and Gush Etzion, and from your experience? And what do you think maybe you could bring back from what you've seen in the diaspora from in Chutz La'aretz?
Wow. So first of all, I have to say, I go to lots of communities in the States, in Canada, Australia, England, South Africa, Brazil, lots of places in the world. And I feel that lots of Jewish people in the world are doing unbelievable work. They are working with the communities to help them and to inspire them. They are helping Am Yisrael. So many people, they go to AIPAC, they go to with donations, they keep the government, they keep yeshivos, they keep Torah and Chessed. I feel that lots of places in the States have something that called community, that in Israel, it's not so strong. Lots of places, they have a shul, people daven in shul. Community is something that I learned from people in the world, and especially in the States. And thanks to this, in Alon Shvut, lots of things that I did helped me from the things that I saw there. And there are lots of Americans also in Alon Shvut. And together, I think we have a community. And to have a community that gives chizuk to each other, that are together. And I think there are lots of other good things that they are in people in Chutz La'aretz. I feel that on one hand, people in Chutz La'aretz, lots of them are unbelievable for good. On the other hand, I see also lots of communities that are getting lost. You see people that their son, their grandchild is marrying a Goya. You see places that maybe, now it's also in Israel, but maybe there are places in America that it's a higher level. That you see that maybe the center of the life is money, and I won't say just money, it's to be convenient and to go here, and maybe sometimes you lose the point of chesed, of values, of Torah. It's not that also those people are good, they also do chesed. They are good people. Sometimes when the children are brought in luxury that's so high, they're confused. And in the end, they are maybe following wrong things. Also in Israel, it's a problem. All the world, it's a problem. But when you have more, bigger abilities, so the problem is, to have lots of money, it's also challenging. It's not easy. And I feel that lots of those people, lots of people in America, they help me. They help all my projects in chinuch, in chesed, and I love them. I love them. I feel that sometimes it's complicated. It's complicated. If sometimes a kiddush in the States, it's more than a wedding in Israel, on Shabbos, okay, it's nice. You go there, you enjoy it, but okay. I had a wedding of my daughter a month ago, and I decided if I'm going to invite people that I know, or rabbis, or people, there will be 1,000 people in the wedding. It will be a very big wedding. Now we have a big family. The other side is a big family. Just children. Baruch Hashem, we have 8 children. My father-in-law has 9 children with all the children. The other side of the Kala have 13 children. It's wow. I decided with my wife, we are not inviting anyone. We invited just cousins and children, of course. We invited the friends of the Chatan and the Kala, and one neighbor from here, this side and that side. And we did a wedding, 270 people in the wedding of both sides together. And I feel it was so happy, was so nice. And the simcha was focused on the Chatan and the Kala and the family. So sometimes maybe we can do things in another system. I know that there are lots of people that cannot do it, because if they do it, it's a problem with the friends, with people, the society. But I think maybe this thing should have a shinui, also in the States and also in Israel. But again, I think that there are lots of things, this power and love, and lots of places that are connected to Torah in Chutz La'aretz. And I think that they have the right things that they can make the communities even better all the time. And of course, every Jewish man, women in the world, his dream is to come to Eretz Israel. So all of you, if you stay there because you have a mission, it's difficult, okay, but don't be confused. Remember, the place of Jewish people is Eretz Israel, is Medinat Israel. Thousands of years, we just waited till the minute that we can come here. We are in a part of redemption. So if you stay there, say as shliach, as a mission, you are there, you have what to do.
Right.
But when you finish your shlichus, come to Eretz Israel, you have a special
Bezrat Hashem soon. Rav Rimon, you have so many responsibilities in the Yeshuv and to the whole Gush Etzion and to Machon Lev and the Sfarim and so many other responsibilities. Do you ever get stressed? Do you ever feel down? Do you ever? What does the Rav do to relax? What does the Rav do to? Is there ever any time? Is there any hobby that the Rav has on the side?
I have hobbies, but I didn't do them for the last 35 years. For me to relax is to sit and learn. I go with the family and like it. So few days a year I go with the family. I go with my wife a few times and I enjoy. I went short time ago. I went with my wife for a short vacation of 1.5 days. And I went to some place that I don't know. And I was sure that people don't know me also. And I stayed in shul, and someone came, can you give a shiur after tefillah? I said, okay, I gave a shiur after tefillah. I came back, and I got a telephone. Someone told me, look, we have a koilel here. Can you give a shiur afternoon? We want a shiur. I asked my wife, is it okay? I said, okay. And then she said, look, you have a short vacation. Why do you go and give a shiur? And then she said, okay, I know. This is what you really like to do. This is our vacation. I mean, I enjoy to be with my family. I enjoy to go to places in Israel, to the north, and to see things. I enjoy it. Of course I enjoy it. I like it. But most of the year I work from the morning till night. But Baruch Hashem, that Kodesh Baruch Hu gave me the zchut that most of my time is Torah. The other is Chesed and or family. And Baruch Hashem, I do things that I enjoy. So also if it's sometimes really crazy, but I enjoy, I like it. If I have difficult times, it's usually because people share with me difficult things. And I was late to our conversation now because someone came to me, a couple and the wife and the couple, they had a problem if to make an abortion, and a real problem. And I cried with them. And it's really touching, and you have to cry. And sometimes I feel, okay, maybe also the rabbis need, something to relax. Okay, so I go home and I speak to my wife. She helps me this. And אבל Baruch Hashem, I thank Hashem that I'm doing things that I enjoy. There are lots of things with children, movies of children, of Ratzim la Mishnah. Education is so important today, so important. And I'm, Baruch Hashem, I have the zchut to create with my team things that affect thousands. I've said thousands, it's around 150,000 children in Israel.
Wow.
That are learning Mishnah by movies. And I'm also in the movies. They know me. Everywhere I go, Rav Rimon, can I have bracha? Can I have selfie? And I see the children. It gives me koach to see children that they enjoy. Rav, I finished. I saw Ratzim la Mishnah. I saw the movies, Mishnah Ran, and I finished Shas Mishnayot. I finished now Seder this. You see children. They enjoy. They are connected to Torah. And I think that those things gives lots of koach.
It's a beautiful thing.
Bezrat Hashem, that we have the privilege to continue and to have koach. Kodesh Baruch Hu will help to find more and more koach to do good things in the world. And not everything, is succeed also. You can say, there are things you try. Something you succeed, something. But if you believe in your mission, so also it doesn't go in your way, you understand that this is a mission, and you have to wake up in the morning to understand. Modeh ani lefanecha, melech chai v'kayam. I thank you, Hashem, that you believe in me. שהחזרת בי נשמתי בחמלה רבה אמונתך. You believe in me. You wake up, you feel how Hashem believes in your koach, and you have koach to do, Bezrat Hashem, good things in the world.
Amen. Rav Rimon, that's a perfect place to leave it. Thank you so much for going behind the Bima. Thank you for sharing, and we wish the Rav continued bracha and hatzlacha and all the Rav's incredible work. It's just mind-boggling and overwhelming to think about what the Rav does in a day and what the Rav is continuing to contribute and to do. And thank you. We're very grateful for everything.
Toda Rabba, and thanks you. And in your community, I had the privilege to give Lamdes shiur and to see how Balevatim come and enjoy Lamdes and enjoy Halacha and to see the Simcha.
Baruch Hashem.
It will continue also is a wonderful thing.
Amen.
Wow.
The great Rav Rimon.
There is no way artificial intelligence is going to ever be able to duplicate anything that he does.
No, it's so funny you say that, because what I was thinking throughout the discussion was, will there be people, though, who will say, what do we need Talmidei Chachamim, poskim? Why do we need Rav Rimon? Why don't we just load all of Otzar HaChachma, load the whole Bar Ilan into AI, and then the prompt will be a shaila, and it will scour halachic literature, and it will give an answer. And you could even be like, here's a question I have based on Rav Shlomo Zalman's tshuvas. What would he say? Here's a question. What would Rav Moshe say? Right. Will AI get to the point of being able to know? And now I'm not saying that's a legitimate process of halacha.
Right.
I don't think we believe that. I think there has to be a human component. There has to be Sod Hashem Lireav. We really believe that God bestows divine providence to help the righteous and scholars arrive at the right conclusion. A computer can't earn that Sod Hashem Lireav. But will we live in a generation? Is there a generation to come who will say, what do we need halachic authority? I just need a computer. I just need a computer. I'll feed it my question and a prompt, and it will generate my answer. And what do I need a Rav Rimon for? With a character and a heart and a smile and a sweetness and knowing difference between people. What do I need? The personal touch.
Right. Or maybe it would come to the decision that you would give, but it would just come to it faster, based on everything that you know and everything you've studied. Or
if it doesn't have the human component, if it doesn't have the neshama, right? It's lacking a neshama. Right. At the end of the day, this AI, this computer doesn't have a neshama.
I'm saying if this AI studies and knows everything, Egris Moshe knows all the poskim, knows everything, would it be able to come to a conclusion based on everything that's ever been written? I mean,
but it doesn't have a soul, so it can't earn the divine guidance and merit to come up with the right answer.
Who would have ever imagined that this would even be a question?
We're living in a time of that it used to be that people, when they dreamt of futuristic and future, they dreamt of things that are now outdated.
Right. Disney.
Yeah, Disney's Carousel of Progress is so antiquated.
Right.
Oh, it's the carousel of ancient living. We far surpassed anything that the Jetsons imagined we would live with. Right. Like video conferencing and electric cars and things that fly through the air, and now AI, just the next generation of progress. But is it all progress or is it regress? I recently asked a prominent person who's made a fortune by leveraging the internet.
Right.
And I asked him, if you could go back in time and God said to you, create it or don't create it, knowing what you know now, the gifts, the benefits, the blessings of the internet, of social media, of all the good, the connection, the Torah study, the Torah learning, the Chessed coordination, all the gifts, but also all the damage and all the danger and all the, what would you do? You could press go.
I'm not even a question. I'm saying forget it. Dump it.
Forget it, right?
Done. I go back to Elizabeth, New Jersey. It was simple.
Life was simple.
You didn't need a cell phone. You didn't need any of this.
There was an article yesterday's New York Times. I would never pay a penny to that place. But I saw it online. It's called, Should More Teenagers Ditch Their Smartphones? A group of New York City teens are seeking to free themselves from their phones and social media. Would you want to join their club? Basically, smartphones make us dumb. Dumb phones make us smarter. It's really all about how smartphones and the technology is creating such mental health challenges. So
you want to do it? I'll go in. You want to try it for a week?
Go to a dumb phone?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's too late for us. I mean, could our rabbinate allow us to say we're not available on WhatsApp or text? Like you can't ask shilas or connect or schedule meetings.
Check in once a day in your computer.
Everything would be email.
Yeah. Or you could check WhatsApp. You could you got to be in front of your desktop.
Rav Rimon has groups. I'm on a Rav Rimon Shaila group where people ask halachic questions and he responds. And look at the good of that. You have a posek who's responding almost instantaneously, high level psak.
Right.
So there's a lot of good. There's also a lot of bad. And if you could go back in time, would you stop it? He said without a question. This person earned a fortune that way. He said without a question.
So what's interesting is that you and I have had the opportunity to see both sides. Our children are growing up in a world right now where they haven't seen the other side. Like they can't even imagine a world where this doesn't even exist. I'd love to.
We're the last generation that's seen both sides.
Right. Yeah, try take it away from them for a week and let's see how this all works out.
I think some of them actually would find it refreshing. I mean, there are still worlds. I have sons-in-law who have dumb phones. Like there are worlds of people who say, "I'm focused. I have some goals. I don't want to live in a world of I'm missing out on conversations and pictures and sharing." That's why they have wives. They can go on their devices and catch up when they want. But there are communities of people who say, that purity, that innocence, that simplicity, that capacity to focus, whatever I'm giving up, it's worth it to have that.
I'm actually seriously considering trying it. See how that works out.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe for next week we'll find out.
Let's see. I don't even know where to buy it. Where do you buy one of those phones?
Tune in next week to find out. Did Rabbi Brody switch to a dumb phone? Wow.
Yeah. Maybe it's worth it.
I'm on the edge of my seat. I can't wait to find out.
No, but I'm saying, like right now, and I'll show the whole audience. I mean, again, I got a couple of different email addresses, and this is it right now. This is I got two, and out of all my emails, I got 2 emails in my.
You're almost inbox zero.
Yeah, and these are just 2 things I take care of in the morning. And what's the big deal? So you twice a day you check in, and all the other. I've unsubscribed from every list. Like, I'm sorry if I've unsubscribed from your list, but I'm just done with lists. I'm
Right.
off of every list right now.
Right.
So what's urgent? Call me. If you really need me, call me. My cell
You're funny,
phone's out
but
there.
right, but we live in a world where most people are like, do whatever you need to do not to call me. Send
I
a
don't
carrier
understand that.
pigeon,
Like, I
text
would
me,
much rather
WhatsApp,
speak to
voice note
someone.
me.
Right.
It's gotten to a crazy point that you ever get in like a voice note exchange where you're at like 20, 30 voice notes back and
Yeah.
forth. Like,
Yeah.
just pick up the phone and
Just pick up
talk.
the phone, call me. Right. Yeah.
Why not? Like voice note,
Like-
voice note, voice note,
right.
voice note, voice note, voice note.
Yeah.
There's almost like a fear of connection, of contact, of talking. We've forgotten how.
Send us the best dumb phones out there. What are they called? Razors? What's the name of the phone?
I don't even remember the flip phone, the old
Flip
flip
phone.
phone.
I wonder if
Yeah.
I could recharge my. I don't even. Was it called? Was that a dumb phone? The Palm Pilot, or was that?
Problem is that there's a lot of the return to that simplicity would be amazing, but what happens when you need to figure out how to get somewhere and you don't have ways?
See, that's a good question. Like, what apps are so essential that it would be very tough? Waze is one.
I'm almost distracted by
Another one.
Waze.
Music for me is a big one. I love the
I
music.
don't think anyone plays on Waze. Waze is not a distraction. It's just functional.
Is there a way to get apps without using a phone? Like functional apps
Yeah,
without
I think there
using
might
without a
be.
phone?
I think there might be. And there are also ways to set up even a smartphone that it's blocking certain apps and certain things. So you could have the ones that are useful and treat it like a dumb phone the rest of the way. What's interesting is that this whole conversation used to be a religious one, right? It was associated with
Right.
religious fanatics don't believe in the technological progress, and everybody else like welcome to modernity.
Right.
But today, because of the correlation with mental health and mental illness issues, it's not, I mean, right. This is a New York Times story, and the group in New York who are his teens are not Hasidim.
Right.
So it's no longer a religious issue; it's a mental health issue.
I wonder what it would be like. Let's say I get rid of Waze, right? So what does that mean? I call the person. I'll be like, "Hey, just give me directions." I don't think they know how to
I
give
had that
directions.
recently. One of the Rabbi in our yeshiva
Yeah.
has a dumb phone,
Yeah.
and we had a meeting somewhere, and he's like, "Could you just tell me how to get back to 95?" I was like, "Wouldn't it be amazing if there were like a satellite in the sky that could tell you how to
Right.
go and where the police are and if there's traffic and alternative routes?" He's like, "Okay, whatever. Can you just tell me how to get to 95?"
You remember? You used to have that thing. On
And then
your
he had to
dashboard.
memorize a right and a left and straight, then a left, then a right.
I remember you were one of the first adapters to let that. What was it, Garmin or whatever it was called?
Like
you had
Garmin
that.
satellite.
You
Right,
had
that
that
little.
thing.
It had that like sandbag that sat on the
Sandbags on.
dashboard.
It used to balance on top of your dashboard.
Right.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to that? Did they adapt or did they
See,
pivot?
that's one of those. They didn't. They just lost.
Right, because
they
they thought that was
lost.
the way the
They
future.
thought that
Little
was
do
the
they know
future,
that you
right?
can have it on your
Yeah.
phone for free.
Meanwhile, little do they know that I'm about to call them, see if there's any left.
Any Garmin's go on eBay and try to find
Let me
his
ask you,
age.
do you still
old-
have it?
I
Can
don't
I
know.
borrow it?
I don't know. Wow.
I don't know what to be about it, but for me, the music is a big thing. Like, I love having just music.
Oh wow.
Music
This
happens,
just in, and
yeah.
we're a live show. That's why we have a live audience. This just in, there's a company called Fruber, Fruber, from
Yeah.
Uber. You call a number and they order you the Uber. You don't have a smartphone, but you want to use Uber, call this number, Fruber, and
I forgot
dispatchers
about
will
Uber.
call the Uber
Yeah.
for you.
Oh, it's like a.
So maybe they can have that for Waze. Like,
it's
I'm
a guy
lost.
in
Do I make a left
Brooklyn.
now? Do I make a right now?
Yeah.
Where am I? Help
How
me
much
get
does
where
he
I need to
make
go.
on every ride there? That's what I want to know.
Everyone, there's a business out of everything. It's a business out of everything.
I'll be your Waze guy.
What would be the
Call me.
Fruber? So what's the From Waze name?
Right.
I
Phrase.
don't know. Phrase. All right, a lot to think about. AI, Rav Rimon,
week.
Halacha.
Yeah.
A lot to think about. Tune in next week. Will Rabbi Brody have turned in his smartphone for a dumb phone?
We'll see.
Find out this time next week. Our live show behind the Bima. Till next time, a freilichen and a lichtige Chanukah. Have a happy and a fantastic Chanukah. Stay healthy, stay happy, and stay holy.